Before the video even starts, I already want to apologize for this setup. This is a very last minute video, spur of the moment that I just wanted to make. Like, everything's messed up. I'm literally in the kitchen. The microphone's not attached. It's just ghetto. It's ghetto as ghetto, I know. Hello, welcome back to my channel where I talk about whatever I want. Today, I'm talking about a phenomenon, a historic, it's not that serious. Today, I'm talking about the YouTube series, MyMusic. Now, listen, I was in my very own space as a child on the internet at like 10 years old. So everybody else was watching PewDiePie and Dan and Phil and Zoella and the British Crew and Tyler Oakley and Troye Sivan and stuff. And I was also watching those people. However, I was not a fangirl of those people as much as everybody else. Like, I wasn't on Tumblr, on Instagram. Girl, I was on Google+. Who remembers Google+? Remember Google+? Who remembers Google? Nobody remembers Google+. I wasn't a fangirl of those people. However, I was in fact a MyMuser. No, I was never like the other girls. I just never fit in with all the other people who liked like the super popular YouTubers. So MyMusic is a YouTube series created by the Fine Bros. Unfortunately, I wanted to make a video about this show, but I didn't want to at first because I refused to give the Fine Bros any praise. And it's really upsetting to me that I'm going to praise the Fine Bros, but I loved this show and I still love it. I literally rewatched it a couple months ago. I don't know if it's just nostalgia talking or what, but I was still cracking up like, this is really bad. Obviously, it's a show from 2012 YouTube, so a lot of dated jokes and references, racism stuff, but like, it's 2012 YouTube. Fucking Shane Dawson, who guest starred on an episode or two. People like Shane Dawson were allowed to get away with literally anything. And another reason I'm making this video is because I don't know who was even a part of the MyMusic community back in the day. It wasn't like super big. I can't even, my 10-year-old brain can't imagine how big or small the fandom was. So I don't even know if MyMusic was even like super popular. So I don't know how big MyMusic was or wasn't. It must have not been that big because there's only one YouTube video essay on YouTube about it, and it's by Athena P. She made a really good video about MyMusic. I'll link it down below. And this video was kind of like hers, but I'm just sharing more of my own personal thoughts. Oh, also doing a character ranking because it's just easier to be able to talk about all the characters that way. Anyways, like I said, the show was a YouTube series, mockumentary, The Office type thing that ran from 2012 to 2014. The show didn't last that long. However, the impact it has on my life is very crazy. I literally will reference the show without even realizing I'm referencing that show. I'll make a joke or a reference and be like, where did I even get that from? I forget what that's from. And be like, fuck, why is it MyMusic? Why is this show actually part of my personality? The show introduced me to Spotify, of all random things to introduce me to. I'm pretty sure I made a Tumblr account for the first time because of this show. Like, this is like so unfortunate. The way I got introduced to so many other like genres of music and artists because of this show, that's so embarrassing. That's really so embarrassing. It's like, I didn't even know this artist exists because it's a show in which all the characters like embody a certain genre of music. So, I mean, it's called MyMusic, and they all run this music like blog, BuzzFeed type company. Let's dive into the characters. Like I said, each of the characters embody a genre of music, and I will be able to talk about the show more once we talk about the characters. But first we have Techno.
Dubstep, careful! Can't use that type of language on this show.
We're starting really boring, unfortunately. Techno, like her name, her genre is techno music. There's nothing to say about techno. Her and dubstep, with her buddy dubstep over here, techno and dubstep, they're a package deal. They're literally fucking Gunther and Tinka if Gunther and Tinka didn't slay. Like, I don't hate their characters, but they're kind of mid. I love dubstep just a little bit more, so I'm putting them before techno. Simply because one thing about me, I love a quiet, doesn't speak sort of character who just reacts to everything. Like, all dubstep says is boom, 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 boom. Like, I'm just gonna eat up every single character who's like the Ferb Flim Fletcher of it all. Like, I just love those characters. There's not much to say about them. They're okay. Also, because of techno, I learned to say, now introducing ROTFL:BRBTTYL smiley face! Yeah, that's it. Next is country.
Everyone, I want to introduce you to Carrie! But fittingly for this place of business, her nickname that everyone calls her is Country! Because, well, look at her.
I believe country was a fan favorite. However, not for me. I'm so sorry. Like, I thought she was so boring and unfunny. Like, not the actress. Certainly not the actress. The actress who plays country is hilarious, honestly. Like, but I just didn't. Maybe it's because I don't care for country music. I didn't care for country at all. Like, she came in and she replaced Idol, and it was boring. Like, I didn't like her character. She had this like extensive backstory. She basically, the bottom line was she was just making all these references and jokes that I didn't get or understand. And that's one thing about this show. Like, if I at 10 years old didn't know what the fuck was all these references were, then I probably wasn't gonna like her character. I don't really care for country. Her being below techno and dubstep is kind of crazy. Maybe I should put her a little higher. She'll go right behind. I didn't care for country. I don't like country music, maybe. Next, intern 2.
I haven't yet found a specific music style to call my own. I kind of like everything, which doesn't really fly around here, so they just call me intern 2, because I was the second intern they hired.
Everybody loves intern 2. S tier. Jack. I'm trying to remember Jack's last name. This is really embarrassing. Douglas. Ooh. I wasn't a Jack's film girl back in the day. Like, a lot of people said they were watching my music for Jack. I've watched total of 3 Jack's film videos. However, that man is so good. That man is so entertaining. I'll say it. I think he like kind of deserved an Emmy. I think he deserved an Emmy for this performance. He deserved an award. Intern 2, that's a good fucking character. Like, don't piss me off. Intern 2 is like the only character who doesn't have a music genre. He's kind of like straight man. Oh my god, I just realized that Jack Douglas as Intern 2 is a great like live action Brett from Inside Job. And fuck Netflix for canceling Inside Job and getting rid of my baby Meow Meow Brett. Like, you will pay for your sins that you have committed. What kind of music does Intern 2 listen? Does he listen to music at all? Like, I think that's one of the things that they said. Intern 2 doesn't even really listen to music, I think. I could be a fake fan and misremembering it.
I kind of like everything.
The only thing that he likes is flow charts and office supplies. It's like, how do you make such a boring, like stereotypically boring character like one of the best characters on the show? Like, what do you know about flow charts are the best? Anyway, so next is Scene.
I almost forgot. Indie makes us go by nicknames, you know, based on the music we like. So, my name is Scene. Do you get it?
S tier immediately. I wanted to be Scene so bad. Like, I wanted to be her so bad. Scene was embodying all of the emos out there, but then she's actually like the brightest, most bubblegummy character ever. Like, Scene, I think Scene is the fan favorite out of everyone. Everybody loves Scene, and Miss Lainey here, she's such a good character actor. Like, I don't know if it's just me. Something you gotta know about me is I don't know how to judge acting. I don't know. People say so-and-so is a bad actor in this movie. I'm like, I thought they were fine. Like, I don't think it's just a big of a deal. So I don't know how to judge people's acting. So take whatever I say about acting going forward with a little grain of salt. These are just my opinions. Miss Laney, I think she's a great character actor. The way she embodied scene, and then like the behind the scenes videos when she's like out of character and like talking in her normal voice, I'm like, bitch, that's a whole different person. Like, how did you even do that? Like, the bar for acting is low. But also it's not because I'm trying to give Laney a lot of credit. Like, I don't want to discredit any of the actors on the show's like hard work, because their talent and their skill is what made the show. Even with the Fine Bros whack ass writing, they still managed to make the show enjoyable and like these characters. Like shout out to the MyMusic costume designers and set designers. Like they really did that. I think the show is mostly its characters, mostly its cast. They're the ones carrying the Fine Bros stupid ass writing. They're the ones giving the performance. I simply just want to give all of the credit to the actors so I can avoid giving the Fine Bros praise. This is the Fine Bros show. Yeah, I don't care. Actually, I think the actors wrote the script and like came up with the characters themselves. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm going on record saying that Lainey Lipson as Scene is one of the best character transformations of the past decade. Like, I don't know. Like, that's just me. I'm pretty sure I tried to dress like Scene at least once. I'm pretty sure I tried to be a Scene girl and I was like, yeah, I don't know Panic at the Disco, or I don't even know the other musicians associated with being Scene and emo. So moving on, we have indie.
How did the MyMusic company start? Well, we started small. I mean, we were just a blog covering underground indie music, and then we expanded into filmed concerts, interviews, and more.
Before I even rank indie, here's my conspiracy theory with the Fine Bros writing indie. I think they were using indie to get out all of their weird opinions and ideas. I feel like I low-key explained it a bit poorly, but basically it's like the Fine Bros would use indie's character to get away with saying certain offensive jokes and certain like behaviors that they're probably too afraid to do out loud, but they put it all into this character who's supposed to be sort of a terrible person. And I'm literally about to say this in like 2 seconds, but basically his character is sort of like Michael Scott from The Office, and in the video I forgot his character's name. But anyway, he's supposed to be like I haven't watched The Office, but I know that his character is supposed to be sort of like a terrible guy. He's kind of bigoted in a way. But he gets a character development, I think, and like wants best for his company and his employees, at least later down the road. Tell me that's wrong. I haven't seen The Office, but that's kind of like Indy's character. Okay, so Indy is the boss of the company, right? And he's supposed to be hipster and not like other girls. He doesn't listen to popular music. He's not with the kids. Anything popular is a big nor for Indy. But Steve Carell's character, he's supposed to be like his character in The Office, where he's kind of a terrible person and he's kind of a terrible boss, terrible to his employees. Some of the problematic shit that was in the show mostly came from Indy. Like what his character does to hip hop. We'll get into that. We'll get into that when we get to hip hop. Basically, my thing is the Fine Bros were just using him as a vessel to make their little weird ass jokes. But besides all that, I do love Indy. I was watching Athena P's video. They put Indy in the rats. Leave Indy alone. Like, what? He's a good boss villain character. Adam Bush is the name of the actor who plays Indy. He's the best actor on the show. He's the best actor on the show! His line delivery, his time, like, don't piss me off. He made this character not necessarily. Is Indy likable? I don't know. He made this character tolerable, basically. I love when an actor makes an unlikable character tolerable, likable, making me want to root for them sometimes. Yes, Indy's a terrible person. Yes, indeed. But he's such an interesting character, and I have to put him in A. I'm sorry, I do love Indy. That's his idol!
Even though I hate everything mainstream.
I love everything mainstream. Once I was brought on, I made Indy realize that if we weren't covering pop music to bring in the people that would actually spread the word, there would be no hope.
Grace Helbig, another great actor. She ate another, I think she's also in the top 3 best actors on the show. Another case of her embodying Idol's character. Like, I also wanted to be Idol so bad. Like, all of these popular pop music and pop culture references. And yeah, so Idol's character is being the pop girl. She's about the pop and the pop and the pop. She's literally the only character where I understood her references. She is the only character where I actually understood their references. And her thing was being workaholic, girly girl, the social media manager in the company. Like this, that she built the MyMusic company on her back. On her back. Like, the show simply would just not exist. She's basically like the main character of the show, if we're being honest. Like, every time there's an ensemble cast, there's always like one character who's sort of like the lead, though. And I feel like Idol was like the lead character, no? Like, Indy's the boss, and then like right under him is Idol, so she ran the company basically when Indy couldn't do his fucking job. Idol is the original girl boss. It's like, she was my girl boss girl. Idol was my original girl boss. She left a little bit into season 2 and was replaced by Country. I already said what I need to say about Country. She's all right. They're identical cousins all the way. Anyways, I don't know. What else do I need to say about Idol? She's manic, she's romantic, and she just like me for real. Moving on. Hip hop. Just a moment of silence.
Bankruptcy blows, son.
That's the reality of social media.
Okay, now that the moment of silence is over, I first just want to give props to Michael. Michael, what is his last name? Thompson. Michael Thompson plays hip hop. I want to give my claps to him for putting up with Fine Bro's bullshit for 2 years, because he played hip hop and he played it well. I love hip. Why does it feel like I have a gun to my head? I love hip hop. I swear I do. I do like hip hop's character because of Michael. I like his character because of Michael. Not all the bullshit, racism, stereotypes, microaggression ass shit the Fine Bros wrote his character. I literally forgot to mention, there was also so many microaggressions and stereotypes with techno as well. Now, with all the obvious bullshit aside with hip-hop's character, I do like hip-hop, again, because of Michael and the way he plays hip-hop. I feel like I'm doing a disservice to my people by putting hip-hop any higher. I feel like putting him any higher than, like, B or C is kind of crazy. I'm putting him in B. I'm putting him in B because of Michael, and that's all. Throughout season 1, it's been like hinted at that hip hop is not very hip hop at all. He's not like other black people. Low-key, that's how some of that storyline came off as. We find out that hip hop is not very hip hop. He's not even like that huge of a hip hop fan, and low-key Indy only hired him because he's probably like the only black dude who wanted to show up at the damn company, and he forced him to have his hip-hop persona throughout the entire show. He was forcing him to have the hip-hop persona. But this does spawn then his new persona of nerdcore.
Over the break, I decided that when I returned to work, I'd act like my true nerdy self. At first, I was afraid no one would accept me for who I really am. But it turns out my relationship with everyone is stronger than it's ever been.
Which is the black nerd stereotype, and we love it and we ate it up. You got nerdcore, who's into nerd. It's not really like music though. He's just into like nerdy pop culture. And all of his little like closet cosplays were so fun. But yeah, it's fun to see another black nerd character, even though we had to go through hell and back to get there. Last but not least, we have Metal.
So it seems my team has no experience. I've actually got some anger management issues, but I've gotten past that. It's just a little bump in the road, no problem. What the hell?
Sorry, I'm just practicing.
This is really bad for me. Okay, wait, actually I don't know where to put him. A tier. A tier. A tier is good. He was one of the best characters on the show and then got ruined in season 2. Like, he was like hardcore metal in like season 1. I love metal though. I do in fact love metal. I was in fact a metal stan. Like, metal was new to the company in season 1. He was also sort of like one of the leads. Him and Idol were sort of like the leads of the show. But he comes in and he's like all hardcore and he's wrecking havoc in the office. He's the only person at the office that Indy respects. He's just like one of those characters, like big tough guy who's actually like a sweetheart. He has like a wife and a kid. A fucked up ass backstory as how he has a kid. Jared, the actor Jared, also a great actor embodying this character. He has to put in his voice and like talk in his voice for like several hours. See, it was hard for me to even do that for 2 seconds. And if I speak, 10-year-old me did in fact have a crush on him. If you couldn't tell. It's really bad. Okay, moving on. Yeah, now looking at the tier list, I think, yeah, I like it. I like the way, I don't think I would change anything. Okay, so sum everything up, MyMusic was a cultural phenomenon, at least for me. And I really was a big fan, and I really appreciate all of the actors and the characters, because the actors in fact wrote the script and the characters themselves, not the Fine Bros. Like, who are the Fine Bros? I love the cast. They seem like nice people who like really took their job seriously on this stupid little internet show. A little too seriously, because why were they giving some of the best performances? And I just think this part of YouTube or internet history was just something really serious. Like, remember when Fred got his own movie trilogy? Maybe I should make a video why the Fred movie trilogy is actually like really good. Despite all of the shit we give this era of YouTube and all of the problematic shit we let slide, it was still fun and enjoyable. Some of the worst times of our lives, some of our best times of our lives. I want to do more videos like this talking about like shows and movies and media and shit that I liked and that are maybe unpopular. Like, comment, and subscribe and do all that shit. And bye!